All right, guys. Normally I've been doing my playoff preview via Periscope, but decided to have a few seconds here to do it via YouTube, and that way you guys can go back whenever you want to see how right or wrong I was going into Game 3 of the NBA Finals. Cleveland Cavaliers and the Golden State Warriors. They returned to Cleveland, or come to Cleveland, for the first time in the NBA Finals. Tied 1-1. For a lot of people, that's a big surprise, especially after Kyrie Irving's injury at the end of Game 1, in the overtime of Game 1, where he got accidentally kneed by Klay Thompson and has his kneecap issue now. So instead, the Cavs pulled it out with a gritty win in Game 2 and now come to Cleveland for Game 3 and 4. So if the Cavs hold home court, they can go back to Golden State in Game 5 up 3-1, with a chance to close it out there or in Cleveland for Game 6. So, what are some keys? In a lot of ways, the keys are very similar to the ones that we've noted most of this or all of this series. First and foremost, it starts with defense, but connected to that is pace. And so we'll start defensively. Obviously, the Cavs have held the Warriors to some of their lowest scoring this season with their grinded out style, both on the offensive end as well as keeping attached to Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, and the rest of the guys. They've just not allowed them to really get into the rhythm. The ball movement has slowed down, really even to a crawl for the Warriors, much like the Cavs did to the Atlanta Hawks system. And so for Cavs fans who watched those 4 games, watch the Cavs make adjustments with the Bulls after Paul Gasol lit them up early, shouldn't be a surprise that their defense has just been excellent. Their ability to keep people from shooting a good percentage from deep is impressive. So defense goes along with pace of game. One of the things we've seen, specifically as LeBron James brings the ball up the court, but really anybody, including Matthew Dellavedova, who has struggled at times bringing the ball up court, is that the Cavs are not looking to push. So unless there's an easy fast break, one that's really simple, or if Iman Shumpert decides to try to make a layup when he shouldn't late in the game in Game 2, the Cavs are pulling it back. So we've seen a few times where LeBron has a 2-on-2 break, something that he normally would look to dominate, but instead he pulls it out, gets it set back up, and allows the Cavs to really grind the clock out and grind the Warriors. This also makes sure that the Warriors don't have a chance to get out and run either. And so defense and pace go together well. The Cavs have taken an offense that averaged 110 points in the regular season, and now they're averaging less than that in 2 games, with both games going into overtime. It says a lot about the Cavs defense, and it also goes to the rebounding. The Warriors have an interesting decision to make. If they want to get out and run, they leave Tristan Thompson, Timofey Mozgov, LeBron James, even Iman Shumpert and J.R. Smith at times, who are at least average or above average offensive rebounders for their position, and even Matthew Dellavedova, they leave them available for offensive rebounds, putbacks, second chance points. And so because of the Cavs rebounding, the Warriors aren't able to get out and run. The Cavs rebounding on defense doesn't allow the Warriors to get their second chance points, doesn't allow the Warriors to get the broken plays that lead to these big 3-pointers all the time and those kind of things. So rebounding, again, is the key. The Cavs have won every game that they've won the rebounding battle. Obviously, we've already talked about 3-point shooting. For the Warriors, that's a big part of their offense. Draymond Green has not gotten going at all offensively. He looks timid shooting from deep. If that can continue, that's great news for the Cavs, because then he doesn't suck the defense out. It allows the Cavs to stick to the other shooters. For the Cavs, 3-point shooting is huge. Shumpert struggled last game. Hit one late, but struggled last game. J.R. Smith has struggled in both games. We'll have an article out on him, and we'll talk about him in just a second. James Jones hit a couple 3-pointers in Game 2, which were huge. Matthew Dellavedova has struggled, though he hit a late 3. The Cavs really need 3-point shooting to open up the floor for LeBron to do what he's doing. One of the things they did in Game 2 that we thought they would do is use a lot of cutters. And so Mozgov cutting to the rim, Tristan cutting to the rim. Those things were really, it was mostly Mozgov, but those things are really helpful so that the Warriors can't just wall off the Cavs 3-point shooters. And so the Cavs need to, again, get some open 3-point shots. that they can knock down to keep the scoring up, but also to open up the inside for LeBron, Mozgov, Tristan, those guys down low. I wrote this morning, and I hope everyone going to the game has seen it. I gave you 10 instructions for the crowd tonight. A few of them are don't sit down. Don't sit down. Just don't do it. In between, on timeouts, quarters, halftime, great, sit down. Don't sit down besides that. If you're physically able to, get up, be loud, cheer. Simple cheers. Defense. And then one that I love is the idea that anytime Steph Curry has the ball, even if Matthew Dellavedova is not on the court, Delly. Again, we want to get in their heads. We want the crowd to be a part of it. So the last thing, which is going to be tough for many of us, put down your phones. Put them down. You can't cheer. You can't pay attention when you're looking down at your phone. Put them down. Pick them up every once in a while. Take a few pictures early. Get that out of the way. Put down your phone and enjoy the game. Be a part of the game. Be in the game. Put the phone in the pocket. So the crowd is going to be important tonight, partially because it impacts the refs. We know that last game, refs were not great, but that kind of played in the Cavs' favor that they allowed it to be pretty physical. Now the Cavs are at home with the home crowd and all of that. Do the refs allow the Cavs to be physical with the Warriors, something the Warriors just do not like? The refs could play a huge role. And then finally, J.R. Smith. Is this the J.R. Smith game? We know that J.R. Swish can just unload. It takes one shot. It takes what I would love to see is a little Blatt ball where a David Blatt play gets JR open for an easy look to just start to get that confidence going. Is this a game where JR makes up for the mistakes that he made in game 2? Those idiotic fouls, the poor shooting, all of that kind of stuff. It has to happen at some point in time for the Cavs to win. We're going to have a J.R. Smith game. And so we're hoping that's tonight. So the Cavs tip off at 9 o'clock. Go to kingjamesgospel.com for all of our coverage. We've got 4 or 5 articles up for you today already. We'll continue to knock out some stuff throughout the afternoon, evening, before the game, which tips off in about 2.5 hours. So we'll see you then, Cleveland. Follow me on Periscope at Jared K. Mueller. That's also my Twitter handle for all of my quarterly analysis and halftime analysis. And then at the end of the game, we'll come there video live for you. So we'll talk to you soon, Cavs fans. Go Cavs, and we're all in, Cleveland.